Climate change is the single biggest challenge facing the planet today. The time for skepticism has passed, and now is the time for action. A group of stakeholders have come together for a community meeting to learn about concrete actions they can initiate by upgrading their buildings, resulting in economic savings, a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, and to bring about positive change in local air quality.
And welcome here to Say What. I can tell you that the City of Toronto has shown real environmental leadership since 1988 on greenhouse gas emission reduction and climate change stabilization. And part of that was the creation of the Energy Efficiency Office in 1990. That office has many different programs. And 11 years ago, that working with utilities and others, came up with the idea of a Better Buildings Partnership to really bring the energy retrofit message to all buildings in Toronto. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mary Grant, and by saying that Mary's a 25-year veteran property manager, and she's now working for Brookfield Properties. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mary.
I brought this presentation to Celebrity Place about 7.5 years ago. I have been working with Celebrity Place for just over 8 years. They have changed a few management companies and are currently with Brookfield Residential Services. And they have brought me along, and it's been quite a joyous experience to work with them. It's a 382-unit building, 2 towers, all connected to one, Celebrity Place, Jarvis and Wellesley. You may be familiar if you're in the neighborhood. I had brought it to Celebrity Place Board of Directors as a proposal, as a suggestion. Similarly, as I said to you, how would you like to save lots of money and be guaranteed to save this lots of money? Because the company that I chose at that particular time was guaranteeing their savings. They came in and did an overview of the building, similar to what the city is offering, to verify if, in fact, there were any savings in the building. And they came back to me and said, Mary, we do feel there's an opportunity here for the building to save approximately $109,000 a year. That's straight off the top of the budget. Doesn't that make you happy? Doesn't that make the owners in your building happy? Having said that, they guaranteed $109,000, and we've been about $135,000, $140,000 over the year. And we've implemented a second phase, which I know will add to that.
We were approached by Celebrity Place, and what we provided was sort of an independent third party that could work with Celebrity Place. We didn't have anything to sell, so we could give them an unbiased evaluation of what they were doing.
We talked it up by way of communication in the elevators. Anybody that come by, we told them what we were doing. We had it so jazzed up that by the time we came to the AGM to get the final vote of this is what we're going to do you approve? Now to enable us to do that, we need to borrow this amount of money. Do you approve? The answer that came back from the floor was, are you crazy? Just do it. Our first project was about $725,000 expense. Now, the corporation did happen to have that amount of money in the reserve fund, but did not want to deplete the reserve fund just in case the roof leaked. So consequently, what we did was we borrowed some money. We borrowed $400,000 and we took the balance out of the reserve fund.
We try to persuade building owners to look at the building in a holistic way, so that you look at not only the what we call energized systems, meaning the lights, the boilers, the fans, but also the passive energy systems, that's the walls, the roof, the windows, and the building occupants. Because you can have a high efficiency boiler that's not going to produce savings if people leave the windows open.
We also had to put in new heating boilers because they were coming due. We were having some problems with them, so we decided to put in new heating boilers as well. The heating is again, less gas, more efficient, and 9 times out of 10 we're only running on one for each tower. We decided to do all the garage lighting. We have 3 levels of garage. We also decided at that time, as we were redecorating the building, to include the hallway lighting, stairwell lighting, exit lighting, anything that was lit in the building, we wrapped into this particular project. So it became back that it was actually paid for through the project. It was about 5 years ago we decided to change out the chillers. We put in the multi-stacks. First of all, it was easier to get them up to the roof. Second of all, your chiller is continually running even though it's not in use. It's just throttled down. It's continually using energy. And every time it fires up, or every time you got a hydro outage, you got to fire that little demon up again, and it just sucks up the hydro. So we've been very, very successful in saving hydro in that aspect as well, because the chiller is not running 24 hours a day for that 4-month period or 5-month period whenever you've got it working. It is just strictly as needed. Saves money, saves gas.
Doing all of that then gives you a much better return on your investment. You have a better building. And what typically happens in a case like that is that the items that have a very quick payback can carry financially items that have a long payback. By reducing the consumption of electricity, we are also reducing emissions, and therefore we are reducing the impact on smog, on air quality, and we provide a healthier climate. Now, at a consumer level, people are interested in getting energy efficient appliances. People are inquiring about the environment when they buy a new condo, for instance. And developers have recognized that by now marketing green condos.
We put the project in. We gained a lot of savings. We had a good time doing it. People did start to enjoy what was happening and what was made more available to them. As we proceeded on, we realized that we had other things that now we could do in the building, because this building all of a sudden became a very green building. There was a green committee developed, and the green committee put in composting.
The green committee at Celebrity Place began when the building had been approached about doing an energy retrofit, and one of the board members who was enthusiastic about the project suggested to some interested residents that we form a green committee to help persuade the rest of the board and other building residents that the project would be worthwhile, that it would be worthwhile to invest the money and take the time and trouble to retrofit systems in the building so that they're more energy efficient.
We also need the owners of condos to be more aware of where the money is spent when they pay their maintenance fees, and get together, as did the people at Celebrity Place, to make their building more energy efficient and more environmentally friendly.
And thought that was a good idea, and then began branching out into a number of other areas, which include composter, naturalized wildflower garden, and herb pots that are planted so that residents can come by and help themselves over the summer months to fresh herbs.
We are currently looking at the possibility of a green roof, because between our 2 towers, we have a lower level, like we call it the link, and it's 6 stories tall, and it's a perfectly beautiful flat roof. You can make it happen. It's contagious, you know. Tell one person who tells the next person who tells the next person. This is a good thing to pass on. I think you'll be happy in your own buildings if you do it. It gives you the opportunity to change out by using the reserve fund as a vehicle, but also allowing you to upgrade to code requirements. There are so many code requirements that are out there now that are continually having to be changed. And unless you are conscious about it, you will find yourself being mandated. Proactive, so that's part of recycle, reuse, reduce. And that's my little deal. Does anybody have any questions?
I think people are realizing now that we are the environment, and it's up to us on a very personal level to do something about it, to bring about change in the way we are living and in the way we are treating the environment.
The Celebrity Place Retrofit Initiative has resulted in an annual reduction of over 1,000 tons of carbon dioxide, which is equivalent to taking 180 passenger vehicles off the road for a year, or the removal of CO2 emissions of nearly 100 homes for 1 year. Projects initiated by the Better Buildings Partnership have successfully achieved a reduction of over 200,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year, which is equivalent to taking more than 33,000 passenger vehicles off the road for a year,